Life is not fair. It's one of the first lessons we get. I used the phrase, "but my brother could," countless times, and it never worked. I could have been around 18 years old when my classmate tried to explain his actions to his parents with words, "but my brother could." It didn't work either. I laughed at him so much that he hadn't learned yet that his parents also have double standards. Everybody heard the Latin phrase, "Quod licet Jovi, non licet bovi," which means what is permissible for Jupiter may not be permissible for a bull. So let's look at the 3 things for which the rich pay less. Number 1. The rich pay lower taxes. It's been almost 10 years since Warren Buffett stated that he is paying lower taxes than his secretary. And you probably noticed that the income tax of former US President Donald Trump in 2016 and 2017 was only $750. So if you think you are poor, remember you are paying higher taxes than Donald Trump. What a beggar. Just kidding. Of course Warren Buffett pays higher taxes than his secretary, but he, as a businessman, has many ways to reduce his taxes. Holidays abroad are a business meeting. Even a receipt from a hairdresser before appearing on a television can be a tax-deductible expense. These are of course just drops in the ocean. Buffett also gives a large portion of his income to charity, and because he employs around 360,000 people, he is entitled to various incentives that reduce his tax rate below level paid by his secretary. His secretary is not entitled to such tweaks. If she is employed in UK, 51% of her income would end up in Her Majesty's Treasury. I will not bore you with the calculation, but if your gross income is £60,000, your tax is £11,432 and national insurance is £5,078.84. So you take home £43,489.16. Oh, and your employer has to pay additional £7,199.76 national insurance. Those almost £7,200 would your boss love to give to you instead, but he can't. I guess you are not living under the bridge. Average council tax is £1,818. Every time you go shopping, there is value-added tax or VAT. Standard VAT rate is 20% or £6,945.19 in a year. And last thing you have to pay is excise duty. Excise duty is chargeable for the following: wine, beer, cider, spirits, tobacco, hydrocarbon oil, biofuels and climate change levy. I can tell you how much you are paying for those every year. Let's make it 2,000, just for sake of argument. Let's sum up. From £67,199.76, which is cost of your employer, only £32,725.97 don't end up as a tax, duty or insurance. In other words, you are allowed to keep 48.7% of your salary. I know how you feel. Bah! And we forgot about the Trump. He allegedly wrote off the loss from previous years, that's why he's got such a low tax liability. Number 2. The rich pay less for car insurance. Not because they are rich, it's because as a group they have a higher education, are married and have children. And such a group has a fewer accidents. You may remember an ad where a guy said that he didn't have an insurance because nothing bad had happened to him yet. And the other guy said that that's why he should be insured. People who have not had an accident are insurers' dream come true. Because they want to insure them so much, they reward them with lower insurance policies. Price of insurance policy is also affected by how often the car is used. If you use your car only on weekends, you have less chance of having an accident than if you drive every single day during rush hour. Also, place where you park your car affects your insurance. In densely populated areas, there is a greater chance that someone will steal or scratch your car, compared with parking in front of your mansion. Of course, the cars of the rich tend to be more expensive and their repairs also cost more, but they balance it with higher safety. Number 3. The rich pay less for goods and services. Imagine coming to the store and seeing 2 different price tags on the things. One for the rich, one for the poor. And even if you don't see them anywhere, the 2 price tags are really there. More precisely, final price is influenced by several factors, which cause the rich pay less. This is how. Quality. High quality things are usually more expensive, but they usually last longer. For example, if we compare shoes for £100 which will last 5 years with shoes for £50 which will fall apart after 1 year, then the shoes with a higher price were a cheaper option. Quantity. Wealthy people can afford to buy things in larger volumes, which allows them to get volume discounts. Stockpiling on certain items allows them to wait longer periods of time until next opportunity for a big volume purchase comes. And last, the rich people don't buy things they can't afford. A simple rule: if you can't buy something twice, then you can't afford it. Poor people take loans to buy stuff they can't afford. Interests can increase final price by 30%. And to the poorest people, only usurers lend money. For them, even a single piece of bread can be as expensive as a dinner in luxury restaurant. Therefore remember, it is expensive to be poor. If you have more money, you will be able to pay less for everything. Life just isn't fair. But don't despair. You may not feel that way, but if you have a roof over your head, you ate today, and have access to clean water, medication, and the internet, you can express your opinion, choose your life partner, pick place where do you want to go on holiday, or just what you will wear today, you are luckier than 90% of people out there. Life just isn't fair, fortunately. If you like this video, click on subscribe and the bell icon so you don't miss my other videos. Every week I will upload the new ones about business and finance. And if you want to share what benefits do you enjoy just because life isn't fair, I would love to read it in the comments. Thanks for watching my video.